We're live. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm really excited to interview you today. Very excited. So why don't you introduce yourself, a little bit about your name, obviously what you do, a little about yourself, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm Deanna. I'm 32. I'm a mom of two. I own a marketing agency, very busy, work full time. And I've been doing this program for like a year now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So how did you find us, by the way?
I found you, I think I found like just your page on
Mhm.
like my Instagram feed.
Yeah,
It was like a post about like do you want to drink wine and lose 15 pounds? I'm looking for five moms. I followed you. So yeah.
that's me. So I think you gave me a follow. We were chatting on the DMs. You came onto a call. Well, I think we were chatting on the DMs, and then we didn't even end up chatting until like 6 or 8 months or a year later.
It was like later on. Like I followed you probably like a while ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're
I
like,
think it was like I think we were supposed to have a call, and then for whatever reason it didn't happen. Then a year later, we actually hopped on a call.
yeah. So it was a journey.
It was a journey. So, like it within that year, and even before that, like what were you kind of struggling with in terms of like getting in shape?
Um, so probably when I first followed you, I was like, let's see, my youngest is turning 2. So I might have just been getting out of like
Yeah.
having a baby and then nursing and all that. And it's so hard to lose weight when you're nursing. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So I
Mm.
was like thinking about dieting. And then once I was like moving out of normal sizes in stores, I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like no longer finding things in like sizes that were in like normal mall stores. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to lose some weight and get my life into control. So I kept like looking up different diets and I was having like a failure to commit to anything. Like it all seemed like the wrong choice or like, I don't know. And then my friends were telling me about Ozempic and I'm like, maybe I'll just do that. So I thought about a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel like was like holding you back from really like committing and like changing that?
Probably thinking I didn't have time or
Hmm.
the knowledge. Like I had never really done a weight loss program. I had just like slowly gained weight from each kid. So I'd
Right.
like never really tried to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I feel like I had done Weight Watchers after my first child and like that kind of worked, but I kind of hated doing it.
Right. Right. No,
Yeah.
yes,
So I
that's
didn't want to do it again. Like I knew it worked, but I didn't want to do it again. I just didn't enjoy it.
yeah,
Um,
it's not uncommon. It's definitely not uncommon. And so obviously before you came into us, you're just like struggling to just really commit to you trying all these different things out. Um, when we spoke, like what made you like just pull the trigger and sign up? Because I know we see you signed up right on our first call.
yeah, I guess I'm trying to remember. I think I liked something I had never even heard of was reverse dieting, and I was just intrigued by that concept and just the moving in eventually to the intuitive phase also was what intrigued me because I just don't want to be like
Yeah.
a serial dieter the rest of my life. So I just like those aspects a lot.
Yeah, yeah, the
Um,
sustainability. And so, how do you feel like, when you came into the program, you started working with Kelsey, like, how do you feel like, the program or Kelsey or maybe both have been able to, I guess, help you kind of solve what you were struggling with before?
Yeah, I definitely like working with Kelsey because she's so nice to me. So like every week come back to her with some stupid excuse of why I couldn't do something she told me to do, and she's so nice about it. But I like that she's kind of helped me work through because I like just literally while I started this program had also bought a business. So I was very overwhelmed and busy and I had two very young children at that time.
Mhm.
So she helped me kind of pivot weekly, like just like funny little tricks. Like I was for a while able to squeeze in the diets and the workouts, and then it was getting really overwhelming. She's like, "What if you get a walking pad at your desk?" So I did that, and like it really helped. So she's good at like giving me like recipes when I need them and just like stuff like that. So
Oh,
I've been enjoying having a person to help me.
yeah. And having that person, like, what have you been results so far on the program?
So I'm down like, oh my gosh, I'm down like 32 or 33 pounds. So that's like
Yeah.
huge for me because I've never lost that kind of weight in my life. I think I've lost 10 pounds at the most ever. So that's like a big deal for me.
Uh-huh.
Um, and just like overall, I kept telling her like my goal every time was just to like fit in my clothes and not worry so much about it. That was like such an issue for me that I wasn't used to. So that was like my big goal. And I like literally love shopping now. because I'm a shopping addict for real. So like I do just love it, like that I'm not like crying in changing rooms anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really exciting. And then just like she's just teaching me lots of tricks about like pre-tracking and like all these things, making my life a little easier.
Yeah, sounds like it. And how's it feeling like, wanting to like looking forward to shopping again, like
Yeah,
actually enjoying that aspect?
I
What's that like?
mean, it's really great because I think that used to trigger a mental breakdown every time I went to the mall. So it's been really great to actually leave happy.
Yeah,
So
no, that's awesome. And a lot of women listening to this, and by the way, I wanted to reverse because you said in the beginning, you're like, oh, I waited because I wanted to breastfeed. And that's like a very common um, kind of in a lot of the moms' heads that they don't want to start earlier is because they're breastfeeding. And
yeah,
you're like, oh, well, a lot of moms do lose weight and some don't, and you didn't have that experience of losing any body fat. And that's not uncommon at all. And I think the big thing is because we've coached like many, many women going through that have just had kids and breastfeeding. The big thing is, and a lot of doctors will say, like, you don't want to do like a weight loss program then because it'll actually diminish your weight loss, your milk supply. But if you do it the way we do it, which is tracking everything and making sure you're eating a ton of food while losing the body fat, you can actually keep your milk supply high. So I wanted to, any moms listening to this that want to
yeah.
go to the first year, like, don't let that hold you back because that is a common
Yeah.
conception of like,
You don't have to eat fast food and cookies like me. Like you
right. Doesn't have to be
don't
that
have
way.
to do that. It's not helping anybody.
So, maybe a mom listening to this that's, been struggling with her journey and maybe like you, like hasn't had to really lose the weight before and kind of gradually gained it over kids and now kind of looking at themselves and be like, whoa, how did I get here? They're thinking about doing the program, but they're kind of on the fence. Like, what would you tell a mom in that situation?
I would say that it's not like hard as you think it's gonna be, because especially because I don't remember what you guys call it. I know there's a name for it, but like you like is it habit building or something?
Habit stacking.
The habit stacking was like what helped me so much, because
Yeah.
if I would have had to do every single thing I'm doing right now in the first week, I probably would have lost my mind. But because it was all worked in like
Mhm.
one goal at a time, I feel like I barely changed anything in my life, to
Yeah.
be honest. So I think a lot of overwhelmed moms would like to know that.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you pointed that out because that is like, if I took everything in my entire program, I think that's the thing I'm the most proud of because it's like it doesn't have to take a ton of time, like you're saying. It doesn't have to take a ton of effort with this habit stacking process. It's really just looking at fat loss and just health from a different viewpoint of,
Yeah.
hey, habit stacking, we focus on one habit, very simple. And once you get that down, then we're gonna stack another habit. Once you get that done, we stack another habit. How did that feel to like go through that process of just being like, because I'm sure in the past it's been like, all right, let's just get everything done now. And now you're like slowing it down. What was that like for you?
I mean, I just feel like it's so weird. Like I know my lifestyle is completely different than a year ago, but I feel like I barely changed almost.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm trying harder or thinking harder about it, although I probably talk about it all the time to people, but I don't feel like I'm constantly like thinking about like all these things I have to do correctly, which is just nice. So I enjoyed the slow progress. And I know, I'm still probably I'm still habit stacking technically. We're always still setting new goals with protein and stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I'm still, I guess, doing it even now, but I don't know. It's kind of effortless the way you guys do it, which is nice.
It's awesome. I love it. Anything else you want to leave off before we hop off here? Tell the peeps listening.
I think you guys should do it. Whoever's watching this, just do it if I did it.
Just do it if I did it. Words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Deanna, for hopping. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.